morning, everyone. How's everybody out there doing today? Hope everybody's good and enjoying the week, having a good week and all that stuff. So let's do some quick updates before we jump in. Tomorrow we've got a really awesome talk coming from Octavio Alberto. He's going to be joining us to take us on a kind of like stunning photographic journey of why we should care about the health of our oceans. If you haven't heard of Octavio before, he's a National Geographic photographer, assistant professor at Scripps Institute, as well as a ton of other stuff. The guy has an incredible list of resume and everything. It is amazing to have him on here. Then next Friday, we're back with Dr. Bob Rubin from UC Santa Rosa. He's also the director of Pacific Manta Research Group, and he's going to take us on a bit of a different talk. We're going to look at the brains and intelligence of manta rays, and also looking at a hypothesis he has that he believes that manta rays are conscious animals, that they have consciousness and all these kind of things. So really interesting talk that you definitely don't want to miss. We've got a few courses going on this weekend at Dive Ninjas too. You've got the equipment specialist tonight at 5. Tomorrow they've got the Project Aware specialist going on, and then Enriched Air Nitrox on Sunday, with a bunch of other courses coming out in the next days or so. You'll see a bunch of new stuff coming out. But that's pretty much the quick update for now. So let's get ready for today. Today we've got Miriam joining us, who's going to teach us about sea turtles. She's a marine sea turtle researcher here in Baja from La Paz. How are you doing today, Miriam? I think you're on mute still. How are you?
Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry, I'm fine. And you?
I'm great, wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. Let me stop sharing my screen, and then you can share your screen and we can get started.
Okay, perfect. Ready?
Perfect. Looks great.
Okay. So, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very excited to be here. I really hope my internet will take over. I will don't like the image be frozen, like with my face making a weird face, so something like that. So even I make a lot of weird faces, so I think it's matter of time that that happened. So if that well, whatever. So I want to introduce myself. As Jay said, my name is Miriam Castro, and I work for the Molecular Ecology and Conservation Laboratory here in La Paz. When this opportunity present, I was so excited, and I would like to tell you a lot of things about turtles. But I was watching other videos and talking with Jay. I know this is the first video about turtles, so I decided to start well for the beginning. So actually, this is my first presentation of this type, so I used to interact more with my public. So I hope you can follow me for home, or even if you want, write in the chat or something like that. Well, I want to start my presentation with this image because it was my first approach to turtles. It's an estimate of how many turtles reach to adulthood, 1 in 1,000. And I think I keep this in mind throughout my life, so I want to share with you. So I remember the first time that I saw a sea turtle. I was 18 years old, and I was in a nesting camp. It was a little turtle, a hatchling, and I will not deny it was an incredible night, but nothing compares with the first time that I saw a sea turtle on a dive. That was here in La Paz, and this video is of one of my friends. But that time I couldn't see the turtle so close as this. But even that, the turtle give me so much peace and calm. And then I realized everything that she had to happen to get there. I could not believe it, and it's difficult to me imagine how a little turtle hatchling, as I saw that night, could become something as gorgeous as this this turtle. So one in 1,000, I thought all my life, no? And that day I decided dedicate my life to study turtles and learn more to conserve it better. So yeah, it's a beautiful turtle. So okay, well, the turtles are reptiles and are one of the oldest and more recognized life forms. And I'm sure you will be familiar with some of these. Each one has the necessary adaptations to facilitate their lives in their environment. For example, here, wait, okay. Here we have a tortoise. Her name is Luna, is of my Oscar friend. And this is Rene, I think. Yeah, Rene. It's a seawater fresh, sorry, a freshwater turtle of Sinai. And this is Nicole. It's a green turtle that we saw in Espiritu Santo Island. And if you see, their forelimbs are very different. Also we can see Luna is on inside her shell, and this is another characteristic of sea turtles. They cannot put their hair or their fins in the shell. So okay. As you see here, all their flips are different because they are adapted to the different environments that they live. There are 7 species of sea turtles that are loggerhead, leatherbacks, olive riley, Kemp's riley, green turtle, hodgebill, and flatback. Except for the flatback that only lives in Australia, all of them are in some category of risk and protection by the International Union for Conservation of the nature since the middle of the last century due to the overexploitation that almost caused the extinction of some of these populations. So as you say, everything is each one is similar, but each species has its particularities in terms of distribution, feedings, behavior, or life cycle. Here we don't have enough time to talk about each species, but I try to make a summary. Well, it's not an average or of all the species. It's more similar of the characteristics of green turtle. But as you say in the maps, all of them has different distributions, and there is a record of a nesting record in more than 140 countries, and the turtles have a very ample distribution. They can found in all tropical seas, but we have 2 species that are just in there are endemics. That means they don't distribute in all the world. It's more like in a specific place, and you can see in the pictures. So the little figures on the maps indicates the beaches where they nest, and the shadowed areas where they can be found. Okay, and even if they have a long distribution, they don't nest in every in sorry in every beach that they distributed. So this is because turtles have a behavior, it's no philopatry, which refers to turtle returning to the nest, to the place where they born. So this turtle is flatback and is one of the endemic species that I named it. He lives only in Australia. Where another characteristic of turtles are their longevity and late maturity. As I said before, the just 1 in 1,000 survives. So as as you can, well, I don't know if you saw Finding Nemo, but where the Nemo's father asks the turtle how old is him, and he responds, 152, and I'm still young. Well, I really don't know how long turtles live, but we know a little things about their life cycle. So I did this diagram. So they can use different types of habitats throughout their lives as nesting beaches here, or neritic zones, or oceanic ones. Broadly speaking, the turtle emerge for the nest and goes to the sea, where it passes in an ocean phase, a period known as the lost years. And this is fun because we really don't know what happened in these years. Many people say they are just floating in the water for several years, approximately 3 or 5 years. And after them, it is rescued in feeding areas as juveniles, where they stay approximately 20 or 30 years, until researching the adult stage. And when that happens, they begin to migrate to back to the nesting areas to mating. And well, I want to look a little bit. I want to take a little bit to the note, to the little notes that I make in the diagram. The a difference of the organisms that reproduce once or even more times at the year. Turtles do it every 2 or 3 years to research adulthood. So although the turtles will lay 8 eggs per nest and several times per season, it will take approximately 4 nesting seasons. That means 8 or 12 years to lay the necessary eggs to meet the estimate and get a turtle to be an adult. That's why the turtles has multiple traitors at different stage of their lives. And well, here we classify them into the natural and the human causes directly or indirectly. In the first 2 stages, mainly when they are eggs or little hatchlings, they are particularly affected by environment factors. So I don't know if you know, but the reptiles, and including the turtles, the gender is determined by the environmental temperature. When the temperature of the beach is higher, it means that you will have more females. So what happened with the global warming, no? the statistics seems to have a tendency to have more females, but the temperature in general is getting too hotter. Personally, I have seen that eggs get spoiled because of this. Uh, Basically, they get cooked inside the nest. So when you can see them, it like yeah cooked like a chicken egg or something like that. But well, they are also vulnerable to predators and multiple animals such crabs, birds, raccoons, dogs, or even flies or pigs. The flies inside the nest and just parasite all the eggs, and pigs eat them. Uh, Unfortunately, another of the effects of humans on them is the garbage, because microplastics can be on the beach. And in the past, sea turtles were used to be consumed. There was a big network or black market to sell and carry eggs because some people thought it was aphrodisiacs. Now it's illegal and punished by several years in jail, but in some places it's still a big problem. Same with the black market to meat. And well, now once they are juveniles or adults, the main natural predators are that they can get is basically predators, or can be sharks, killer whales, or crocodiles, jaguars in some regions, or even dogs. But I already told you what happened with the trash. But in adults, um, it's the fact that on the sea turtles confuse the plastic bags with jellyfish, so they can eat them. So another issue that they can have is the fishing traders, because they can get shocking them, and basically they entangle it and they just die inside the water because it's in the deep, or yeah whatever, or even they can live asleep or something like that. And bycatch and poaching are one of the main causes of mortality. So, well, the good news is, fortunately, not everything is bad with the interaction with sea turtles and humans. I would like to talk a little bit about my job at university and in collaboration with Tortuguero Group. Basically, focus on the conservation of these animals. So this is what we do to make sure they conserve better. Tortuguero Group has many years of experience work with sea turtles, as 20 or 22 approximately. So they are worked in three main areas that are nesting beaches, where they put turtle camps, where ensure the nest to protect them for the predators or human that harvest them. And yeah, in some places it's something like that, but in other places incube the eggs in boxes. But this is a more natural way to do. And the other it's foraging grounds or foraging areas, where they make monthly field trips to evaluate the populations. That means we go to the field trip and measure and take measures to long weight or sample tissue samples or blood samples. And the environment, the three areas that they cover is environment education, where they work with fisheries communities, teaching habitat to the habitat, the importance of sea turtles. Well, my work is specifically how about the origin of the turtles that live in the state in Baja California Sur. So, taking a piece of issue, we can discover where the turtles that feed here here come from, and so it's important because we can look protection agreement with among other countries that the turtles are there still. And I say before the conservation or cultures, yeah, before I say the conservation or cultures require the effort of several countries when, and this study is particular to make that. So what we can do for the sea turtles, I know not everything are bad news. So I always think that doing little things we can make a big difference. So first, if you want help to turtles, start to don't consume turtle products as eggs, meats, or ornaments. As I said, it's illegal and punished by jail, but there are some places where it is possible to illegally, and well, you can we can help the turtles reducing our plastic consume, recycling, or pick up beach trash, and supporting turtle camps. And well, to finish, I just want to tell you, we saw 7 species of turtles and the general distribution that they have. We saw the complex life that they have and how it's related the hatching spots that they use. We saw the natural and not natural threats and how we can conserve them. And I really hope after this talk you can remember this image, and if it happened to see a turtle at the sea or in a nesting beach, consider the beautiful miracle that is watch one of them in their environment. So I want to thank Jay for the invitation, and of course, thanks you for paying me attention. And that's all. Thank
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miriam.
you.
Very good. That was a perfect. That's deep. So, guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can throw them into the Q&A box by clicking the button at the bottom of your screen that says Q&A, and we'll read out some questions to Miriam so we can get if anyone has anything. Got a couple coming in already. Hold on 1 second. Get this open. All right. So Sue asks, she says, I heard that mother turtles always nest on the same beach they were born in. Is this true? And if so, how do they know which beach it is and how do they find their way back?
Okay, first, this is true. And there are many theories about how they can do that. The principle is about they can smell the sand, but there are many other studies that talk about magnetic areas or something like that. But I think it's more like they smell sand and they can recognize the area.
Awesome. Really interesting. I think it's incredible how far of a distance that they travel from, so tiny to so far away, and
Yeah.
then being able to come all the way back is incredible. Unbelievable. All right. So Caesar asks, hi, awesome topic and great presentation. Is there a way to volunteer in your project?
Yeah, I work in collaboration with Tortuguero Group, and they are they have a network of or turtle camps that you can do a volunteer there. They are in all the Pacific coast of Mexico.
Awesome. Is there a website or anything where they could get more information?
Yeah, in Facebook, like Grupo Tortuguero de las Californias.
Okay. Let me see if I can grab it real quick and I will paste it into the chat for them.
Yeah.
1 second. Facebook's working a little slow for me. All right, while I'm doing that, let's read out the next question. So we have a question from Catherine. She says, what are the most effective conservation approaches at the moment to help protect turtle numbers?
Sorry, can you repeat me the question?
Sure. It says, what are the most effective conservation approaches at the moment to help protect turtle numbers?
I think the poaching at bycatch are the mainly affected, the main threat that affect turtles. And now there are some there are some projects working to make the fishing nest, the fishing networks like more appropriate to exclude the sea turtles with lights or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you think that by fixing the net issue, that will be one of the big things that helps save them, since it's such a big threat.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Really, really good. Do you find it hard like with the fishermen, are they open to like trying new materials?
I'm sorry, Jay. I can't hear you.
No worries.
A lot and yeah.
Do you find it difficult with the fishermen like wanting to change to new types of net or new types of equipment?
I think they are as old people. Yeah, a little bit difficult to trade, but they are always open to talk about that, because we should remember that they are live all their lives as fisher. So we can go there and tell them, you can don't fish here anymore or something like that. We need propose new forms to do that. So they are always open, but in sometimes it's difficult because when a project ends, it's not completely the work. So if you start another project, you start all the time, no over, yeah. So you can start again with these people, and some of them live enough to sell 2 or 3 or 4 projects to conserve the sea turtles. So they are like, yeah, I know, I need on bycatch turtles or something like that. It's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I think that's around, but it's good that you mean considering that trying to work with them and build it into the communities instead of just saying no, you have to do this, because then you get more impact. It works better in the long run. Awesome. So Enrique says, Miriam, thank you for your talk and your work with turtle conservation. It's very nice. I know that you can get infected by salmonella by touching turtle skin, but can you get poisoned by contact too? I read a while ago a story about a diver touching the shell of a turtle and getting poisoned due to toxins passed by a jellyfish to the turtle.
Oh, okay. It's true that the turtles has a lot of parasites that we can that they can pass to us. And it's important that if you saw a sea turtle, don't touch it, because you don't know how they can put on them. But I really don't know anything about how they pass it by jellyfish to turtles. So it's the first time that I heard it.
That me too. It's really interesting. I'll have to look
Yeah.
into that one. Good question, Enrique. You stumped everybody today. Awesome. So Christina asks, she says, so 1 in 1,000 turtles survive. Is there only one main reason for this, or is it due to multiple reasons? In Delaware, we have the Mare Institute that protects and helps all the turtles here. Thank you for your passion for turtles. I hope to dive with these beautiful creatures someday.
Yeah, I hope so too, because it's an amazing experience. But well, yeah, 1 in 1,000. It's an estimate. Some other people that says it's just 1% or 10%, but in there are many reasons for that, and I think the answer is due by all the life cycle and the human impacts on their habitats.
Awesome. Too many. They've got a hard life right from the beginning, those little guys. It's incredible what they go through. And to think when you see them full grown as adults, like the amount of problems and issues they've had to get through just to get to this adult size is mind blowing. Like,
yeah, I know it's different. So hatchling like turtles or adult. Then adults are just tortoise.
no, yeah, they're both awesome. I love them all.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Glenn asks, thanks for the presentation. Just curious, how many eggs do turtles lay on average, and what proportion actually hatch?
Okay, it's different for each species, and there are species that just put 60 eggs per nest, but there are others that put 18 or even 120. So I think the average could be different between species. So I cannot the right answer, but I could so as I say, if I make a summary of all of species, I can say 18 eggs per nest. And what? What's
How
the other
many of
question?
the eggs hatch? Like, do all of them hatch,
Okay.
or
Yeah, okay.
80%?
No, it's normal to lost some eggs, and I think it's the same answer. It's different for each species, and for the temperature, for example, for the predators, or even if it's a completely safe nest, there are some eggs that are not fertilized. So I think the 80% or 90 approximately, if it's a sure nest.
If it's a safe nest and doesn't have any
Yeah.
external factors. Awesome. All right. Frida asks, how can turtles eat jellyfish and not be affected by it? By the way, nice presentation.
Thanks. The turtles has adaptations for their environmental, so they have a specific esophagus. That's the word, that has a tiny or mediumly dermic, like a spines. I don't know how to say, but they just eat the jellyfish, and they don't have thoughts. So in their esophagus, it makes that function. So I think that that's why they cannot affect by the cyano things.
So they don't feel stung by the jellyfish or anything like that?
No. It's just all in their esophagus.
That's incredible. Really, really incredible. Super cool. All right. Adil asks, hi, is it possible for two different species of turtles to mate and make like a newer species or a hybrid species?
It's common, but I'm not sure. As a marine biologist, there are rule or something like that that say if two different species mate, don't it's possible the hatchlings. But I saw berry turtles that has characteristics of two different species. So there are many people that say it's happening now. And it's not like another species, but there are organisms that are hybrids.
Awesome. That's really incredible.
But I don't know. I'm not sure, and I would like a study about that. If these organisms are fair to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's really incredible. The hybrid turtles, like green leatherbacks and different things would be amazing. Super cool. All right. Alexander says, thank you for the presentation. Thank you a lot for the presentation. I was wondering about the turtle's wider ecosystem. If turtle numbers reduce even further, what kind of impacts could we see elsewhere in the ecosystem?
Well, the sea turtles are I don't know, a species that control the ecosystem. So if we don't have sea turtles, that I mean it's difficult because now is repopulated some places. But well, if we lost all the sea turtles, I think there are many ecosystems that could be affected as sea grasses or coral reefs. And yeah, there are there could be I don't know, excess of jellyfish or something like that.
No, yeah, they start to pull them out of the food chain, and then other animals start to overpopulate and algae and things like that, and then starts to wreak havoc on the whole thing. All right. So Sue says, I've heard that land tortoises, like those in Galapagos, hiss, like they make noises. Do sea turtles make any sounds?
I'm really not sure. Well, the sea turtles don't have some like produce a sound. But I think I saw a video of a turtle make a sound. So I'm not sure, but the sea turtles just breathe like or something like that, and it could be produce a sound, but it's not like a gel or something like that.
So they can't talk to us. We can't have conversations with them.
No.
Figure out if they want to get pizza.
Or some, yeah.
Awesome. So we got one more question from Faye. Faye says, thanks for all the great work you do. Sometimes when diving with sea turtles, they seem to notice their reflection in your mask and come check it out. Do we know if they recognize themselves or if they just think it might be another turtle?
Oh my God, I never seen that, but I hope do this sometime. Yeah, I'm really not sure, and I mean, there are no studies about miracle with a sea turtle or something like that, but I think they just are curious, maybe for you or for whatever animal think that you are.
Yeah, I've seen it too. Like with my camera, if I have a big glass dome on the front of it sometimes, and I'm with turtles, when they spot the reflection on the dome, they'll start to come closer and closer. And I've had ones where like at a turtle one day, like out in the Pacific, we were like maybe 20 miles off the coast in the Pacific Ocean. And she came up and she's like looking at the dome and looking at it, and then started like pushing her nose against it, like she was trying to figure out what she was looking at, like if it was another really small turtle or if it was, I don't know. It was really interesting though.
Yeah, I want to see a sea turtle so that close.
Come
But
say
I really
hello.
don't know what they think. I think just curious.
Awesome. Well, cool.
Yeah.
That's all the questions that we've got for today. I put
Yay.
the link in the chat for everyone for the Grupo Tortuguero, for anyone that's looking to volunteer or anything like that, or looking for more information and all that. Miriam, thank you so much for coming today and teaching us about turtles.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Awesome. It's been great. We're glad to have you. Thank you for everybody tuning in and all that. For those that answered in the poll that they were interested in the sea turtle course and everything like that, we do have a sea turtle conservation course coming up. I think it's next week or the week after, but it'll be going on the website shortly in the next couple days. So keep an eye out for that, or send us an email if you're interested, and we'll get you linked up on all that. Tomorrow we're back with Octavio Alberto to look at some incredible photography and looking at the conservation of the oceans in general and all this kind of stuff. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. Miriam, thank you again. It was great to see you. Hope to see you very soon. And
Yeah, thank
thanks
you.
for everything.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Take care. See you guys soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.